cannot depend on the politicians. We have to force them. The people in the streets here today, the millions around the world that are coming out.
Palestine, a place where pain and perseverance has become equal. We struggle for identity, peace, and justice of our people.
For Palestinians, we've been dealing with this ethnic cleansing for 75 years.
Palestine's story is not written in the pages of textbooks, but in the hearts of its people.
We Palestinians, we're a resilient lot, and we're also just like you. We are teachers, doctors, lawyers, engineers, social workers, priests, imams, policemen.
My grandmother passed away 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 days before this began. We are not able even to grieve our dead ones before they continue to kill more.
We are everyday people. And as people, we are burdened with the knowledge of what it means to be free. The eye can see it, but the hand cannot reach.
When I was taught about the Holocaust in school, it was horrific. It was devastating. They said, never again. Then what has it been happening again for the past 75 years? Why are we repeating history? Why are we letting a genocide unfold right before our eyes?
Yesterday, the communications went dark in Gaza, but a few voices still trickled in from thousands of miles away, begging the world to stop the bloodshed. And that is what we have gathered here to do, to call for a ceasefire. This isn't a war, it is a killing field. For decades, the entirety of my lifetime, we have lived in exile and in open-air prisons. We are not free, and today we are dying at untold numbers. You know, it has to stop.
And I cannot imagine what the people of Gaza are going through. From what I'm hearing, as a father, parents are having to write the names, the full names of young children on their arms and their birthdays. In case not only that the children die, but in case all of their living family members are killed in the coming days and they survive, because no one will be alive to not only take care of them, but even know their full names. It is an absolute shame what is happening.
I am protesting because we diminish our humanity, our soul, our mental health, and our physical health if we stand by and do nothing. When people are being dehumanized, terrorized, impoverished, Gaza is the world's largest outdoor prison. Every day people are terrorized.
And let's be absolutely clear. This is not only an assault by Israel, it is an assault by this government who sends billions of dollars, who instead of telling Israel to stop, has sent more money, sent its war carriers, sent its military advisors.
They used to call Nelson Mandela a terrorist. They used to call Ho Chi Minh a terrorist. They called the people of Haiti terrorists when they ended slavery. They called Nat Turner a terrorist when he led a revolt against slavery. They called the indigenous people here terrorists when they fought back against colonialism. But they were fighting for their liberation, just like Palestine is doing today. The IDF is the real terrorist organization. And this government, with your tax dollars, is funding genocide.
They call the Palestinians terrorists? What about when Israel invades the Al-Aqsa Mosque each year during the holy month of Ramadan? How about the random Palestinian homes and families that Israel invades? What about the 75-year occupation, ethnic cleansing, and the wipeout of the Palestinians off their own land? The Palestinians don't get coverage on what's happening to them. The Palestinians don't have international support. We have to be their coverage. We have to be their support. We have to be their voices.
And when people speak up for the absolute bare minimum, and let's be clear, it's the bare minimum that we want a ceasefire. They are called anti-Semitic. Rashida Tlaib in Congress is facing expulsion from an anti-Semite in this country. A right-wing fascist is trying to kick her out of Congress. When Palestinian students organize to try to stop what is happening and speak up, they are called anti-Semitic and their protests made illegal. It is absolutely disgusting.
But we know this didn't start on October 7th. The IDF continuously harasses Palestinians, defies the holy places of Muslims and Christians, and even kills Palestinians on a regular basis. Right now, there are 10,000 Palestinians held hostage in Israeli jails. We don't see their names in the media. We don't see their faces in the media.
But we've been taught over and over and over to otherize, to fear, to have contempt for, to dehumanize Muslims, Palestinians, Arabs. We don't hear anything about how awful it is to be an Afghan or an Iraqi where the Americans doing things. But now we're very sympathetic to the Ukrainians. And I don't think anyone should be in a war zone. We should care about everybody. But instead of it saying now we're caring about victims of war, it's only selective white European urban, folks where we can sell American frack gas and oil and.
Yesterday, the United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution calling for an immediate, durable, and sustained humanitarian truce leading to the cessation of hostilities. Last night, Gaza experienced the worst bombing since the war began. Again, this isn't a war. It's ethnic cleansing.
Last night, the Israeli military cut not only the electricity, but the internet. People are dealing without water, without food. People are in their homes in the darkness as bombs are dropping. And what did the press secretary of Joe Biden, the so-called most progressive president we've had since FDR, say? A reporter asked him, "Do you have any red lines for Israel?" And he said no.
I survived genocide from Saddam, but I want to say, every freaking night I am so triggered. I wake up and I look at the Instagram every morning and I see these children. I was those kids. I'm living in PTSD, but I need you all to think about that child, that parent, your kid, yourself in that corner, in that area, crying every morning, like hopefully be quiet, nobody's gonna attack you, but they're being attacked. So let's do this for them.
I think of the thousands of children now in heaven. I see their lifeless bodies like a lot of you on TV, and I think of my own daughter, and I wonder, is this the world she has to grow up in? Is it a world no better than 1935? A world no better than 1948? A world of lost and broken generation of Palestinians so mutilated by their occupiers that they will crumble as a people, and that our memory will be erased from the earth? A world ruled by fear? My answer to this future is no. No. No, brothers and sisters, I will not stand for it. I also want to tell you that my soul is not for sale, and I'll say it again, my soul is not for sale.
And it's not only Biden. There have only been 13 representatives who have signed on for a ceasefire. Every single politician that I know of in this state, no one has signed on from the federal level, not Merkley, not Wyden, not Bonamici, not Herb Blumenauer. And it's time for our Oregon representatives and the legislator and our local politicians to also speak out. I've heard of one politician who's made a clear statement, and that's Farah Chachi. One out of all the politicians in this state. It is a shame. We have to keep on coming out because let me tell you, they will tell us there's a humanitarian pause. which means that they're going to stop for a few hours in an area to send some food so they can feed people, as then they can continue to kill them. We have to keep on fighting. The message from Gaza is clear. We want a ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now.
My mother brought me to protests in 30-degree weather. There would be 12 of us holding our flags, our hattas, walking around Pioneer, yelling, boycott, divest, and sanction the Starbucks on the corner there. There's that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
And there is no safety in colonialism and apartheid. And frankly, I think there is no peace for my ancestors and for all of our Jewish ancestors that their names are being used and their trauma is being used to justify this violence against other people.
Israel, America franchises companies and biased news channels that have funded, supported, or stood with Israel are murderers and have the blood of every single innocent Palestinian on their hands.
And if there are Americans who don't like Obama, or there are Americans who don't like Trump, would you want to have all Americans killed because someone didn't like whoever was the leader? We wouldn't want that to us. Why are we saying that's okay to do that to them? I'm saying if something is wrong to kill people, it's wrong, no matter who does it to whom.
This is not about Jewish safety. This is about US politicians and corporations getting rich off the death of Palestinian children. And frankly, I think it is sick that the legacy of Holocaust survivors, that the legacy of survivors of all kinds of genocides across history, that hundreds of years of Jewish trauma is being used to cover up what is actually an attempt to expand the US military-industrial complex.
I think that it's really easy to be afraid, and if you don't want to be scared or hurting or sad, we put up armor of cynicism or intellectualism or othering or self-righteousness, and that is harmful to our souls, to our intellect, to our very being.
And that's why I'm calling for unity today. Love has to win. And to speak of love in times like this is difficult, but we can't falter in this. You know, I know that we're all filled with anger and sadness and injustice of this atrocity, but we must also congratulate ourselves on the love and compassion that made us care enough to be here today.
We cannot depend on the politicians. We have to force them. The people in the streets here today, the millions around the world that are coming out. And let me tell you, they want to put the Jewish people of this country and try to blame this on them as if they're protecting Jews. And I am so proud to say that Jewish people took over Grand Central Station in New York yesterday and said, "Not in our name." Jewish people here and across the world who stand against this injustice and for freedom for all people are our brothers and our sisters and our siblings.
Change will happen. It happens now. It's happening as we speak. So keep boycotting, keep posting, keep speaking. Don't let anybody tell you it's a two-side situation. It's not. It's not complicated.
We will not forget. We won't forget the children who had to write their names on their hands so their family could recognize them in case they got killed. We won't forget the non-stop bombs dropped on Gaza. We will not forget the complete shutdown of water, electricity, and food, and contact to the outside world. We will not forget you, Gaza, and we will never forget you, Palestine. Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Last night when I was praying and this morning I asked God to help me help my people. To help me help my people. And his answer was to stand for love. We have to stand for love, we have to stand for honor, and we have to be the heroes of our own story. So I'm asking you to stand with me for the love of humanity again with a single word. Ceasefire. 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 Ceasefire.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!